Hello, and welcome back to another episode of 271 Math. I am your host Jamie, and today's topic will be factoring quadratic trinomials where the coefficient of a is greater than 1. So, we'll be using the a times c technique. An example that I'll be using for this is 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. So, what exactly is the a times c technique? Very simply, you need to draw an x. The top quadrant of the x will be equals to a times c, in this case 2 times 2, which is 4. And the bottom quadrant will be b, and in this case it will just be 5. So we need to find a pair of numbers that will add up to 4. No, excuse me. Multiply to 4 and add up to 5. So a very easy way to do this is to list out all the factors of 4. So we have 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. So 2 and 2, that adds up to 4, so that can't be it, so we could just cross that out. But 1 and 4, that adds up to 5, so that could be our set of numbers. So 1 and 4. Okay, so now we separate the 5x into these two terms. So here we go. 2x squared plus x plus 4x plus 2. And here we have to use the grouping technique. Basically, you split this into half and you take the greatest common factor of both sides. So the greatest common factor of 2x squared will be just x. So we have 2x plus 1. And over here, the greatest common factor of 4x plus 2 will be 2. So we take out the greatest common factor of both. That'll be equal to 2x plus 1. So in grouping, it is vital that once you factored it out, the remaining term is equal to one another on both sides. So here we can evidently see that is true because we have 2x plus 1 here and 2x plus 1 here. So we are left with x and 2. So let me just erase this real quick to clear up some more space. So we have 2x plus 1, which is here. And the remaining terms, we add that together. Well, yeah. Inside of this set of parentheses, we're going to add these together. So x plus 2. And this is our factored form of this trinomial. 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. So using the FOIL method, we could see if this is true or not. So first, we have 2x squared. Out, we have 2x times 2, which is just 4x. And then inner, 1 times x, that is equals to x. And 1 times 2, last, which is 2. We condense this, simplify it, 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. And we can see that after checking our solution, this factored form is equal to that, so we know our answer is right. So let's find the x's for this one. To do so, we have to take each term that we're multiplying and equal it to 0. So 2x plus 1 equals 0. We minus 1 on both sides. We are left with 2x equals negative 1. So this means that x is equals to negative half. Okay, so that's one of our x's. I'm not going to erase that, but I will erase this so I have space to do the other one. So we set x plus 2 equals to 0. And then we just very simply minus 2 on both sides. X equals negative 2. So our final answers will be x equals negative half and x equals negative 2. Okay, let's do one last example problem. Okay, so we have our second example and our last example, 3x squared minus 4x minus 4. Once again, we need to draw the x that we did before, where the top terms is a times c and the bottom term is b. So 3 times negative 4, that's equal to negative 12. And b, that's just negative 4. So let's write out all of the factors for negative 12 so we can see what adds up to negative 4. So we have plus minus 12 and plus minus 1, plus minus 6, plus minus 2, plus minus 4, plus minus 3. And I believe that's all the possible combinations. So off the bat, I could see that negative 6 times 2 is equals to negative 12. But also, negative 6 plus 2 is equal to negative 4. So, negative 6 and 2. Let's see if that's right. Negative 6 plus 2. Yep. All right. Simple enough. So now, once again, we have to expand the b term. So let's just rewrite that. 3x squared minus 6x plus 2x minus 4. So once again, we have to take out the greatest common factor when grouping these two together. So over here, the greatest common factor will be 3x. So we are left with x minus 2. And then the greatest common factor here is going to be 2. So let's write that. Plus 2x minus 2. Once again, we can see that factoring out the greatest common factor, x minus 2 is left on both sides. So that means we are on the right track. So we bring these two down until we are left with 3x plus 2 and x minus 2. And if I did that correctly, that should be our correct factored form. And it is always important to check. So let's use the FOIL method. So first, we have 3x squared outer. So 3x times negative 2 is equals to negative 6x. Inner, 2 times x, that is 2x. And finally, 2 times negative 2, which is last, we have negative 4. We simplify that. 3x squared minus 4x minus 4. And we can see that this matches up. Oh, there's a little glare. Yeah, there you go. 3x squared minus 4x minus 4. So we got the same for each one. And we could find the zeros for this function easily if we just set these two terms equals to 0. So we have 3x plus 2 equals 0, minus 2 minus 2. 3x equals negative 2. Divide that by 3. So one of our x's is going to be equals to negative 2/3. Okay, let's just erase that to make more space. So now we have x minus 2. Let's set that to 0. So add 2, add 2. So x is equals to 2. So that's our two zeros, negative 2/3 and 2. So in summary, you could find the factored form of any, mostly any trinomial quadratic when a is greater than 1 using the a times c technique. Thank you for watching.